Hello guys, welcome to my channel. In this video we are going to see about the hip bone, and that too mainly about the pubis and the ischium. So pubis, this forms the anterior part of the hip bone, and at the center it fuses with the opposite side, that is it fuses with the pubic bone of the opposite side to form the pubic symphysis. So this pubis, it also forms the anterior 1/5 of the acetabulum. Pubis also forms the anterior 1/5 of the acetabulum. Now coming to the parts of the pubis. So the parts are the body, then the superior ramus, and then the inferior ramus. Once again I am repeating, the parts of the pubis are the body, the superior ramus and the inferior ramus. This entire portion, this is the body of the pubis. Then this is the superior ramus. Superior ramus of the pubis, and of course the superior ramus contributes to the anterior 1/5 of the acetabulum, and then this portion, this is the inferior ramus of the pubis. This is exactly the same on the opposite side also. Coming to the body of the pubis. This body of the pubis has many features. One among them is it connects the superior ramus and the inferior ramus of the pubis. Then of course it has three surfaces, one border and a pubic tubercle and a pubic crest. The parts of the body of the pubis are, it presents three surfaces, one border, a pubic tubercle and a pubic crest. Coming first to the surfaces of the pubis. This is the anterior surface of the body of the pubis. This anterior surface of the body of the pubis, it is forwards, downwards and faces laterally. Direction is forwards and downwards, and it also faces laterally. Then coming to the posterior surface of the body of the pubis. So this surface, this entire surface is the posterior surface of the body of the pubis, and this forms the anterior boundary of the bony pelvis. As I already mentioned in the previous video, the structures contributing to the formation of the bony pelvis are the two hip bones and sacrum and the coccyx, and of course the pubic symphysis also contributes to the formation of the bony pelvis. This upper part of the posterior surface of the body of the pubis, it is related with the urinary bladder. Then coming to the next surface, that is the symphysial surface. So this portion, this is the symphysial surface which contributes to the formation of the pubic symphysis. This is somewhat oval in shape, and this symphysial surface, it articulates with the symphysial surface of the opposite pubic bone in order to form the pubic symphysis, which is nothing but a secondary cartilaginous joint. You can see here the pubic symphysis, which is a secondary cartilaginous joint. And of course this joint, it is covered by a hyaline cartilage. Next, coming to the pubic crest and the pubic tubercle. So this rounded portion, which is also a blunt upper border of the pubis, this is the pubic crest. This portion is the pubic crest. And of course the pubic tubercle is a rounded projection at the lateral end of the pubic crest. So this is the pubic tubercle. Once again I am repeating, this is the pubic crest and a rounded projection from the pubic crest. This is called as the pubic tubercle. So this pubic tubercle, it is actually crossed by the spermatic cord in males. Spermatic cord in males, or else round ligament of uterus in females. Coming to the next part of the pubic bone, that is the superior ramus. This superior ramus of the pubis, it passes above the obturator foramen. What you're seeing here, this hole, this is the obturator foramen. So the superior ramus, it passes above the obturator foramen and joins with the ilium over the iliopubic eminence. This is the iliopubic eminence. This superior ramus of the pubis is triangular in cross section and hence it has 3 borders and 3 surfaces. First, coming to the borders of the superior ramus of the pubis, the first one is the obturator crest. The first border is the obturator crest. This obturator crest, it extends from the pubic tubercle till the acetabulum. So the obturator crest, again I am repeating, the obturator crest extends from the pubic tubercle till the acetabulum. Coming to the next border, that is the pectineal line. Pectineal line, actually it extends from the posterior surface of the pubic tubercle. So it extends from the posterior surface of the pubic tubercle and it continues upwards and extends till the arcuate line. Once again I am repeating, this is the pectineal line. So it extends from the posterior surface of the pubic tubercle till the arcuate line. Coming to the next border, that is the inferior border. So this is a short border and it forms the upper boundary of the obturator foramen. Once again I am mentioning the names of the borders. One is the obturator crest. So it extends from the pubic tubercle till the acetabulum, and the next one is the pectineal line. It extends from the posterior surface of the pubic tubercle and it continues with the arcuate line, and the next one is the inferior border which forms the upper boundary of the obturator foramen. Now coming to the surfaces of the superior ramus. So the first surface what we are going to see is the pectineal surface. So this is the pectineal surface. So this lies in between the 2 borders. One is the obturator crest and the pectineal line. So this pectineal surface, it lies in between the obturator crest and the pectineal line. This extends from the pubic tubercle till the iliopubic eminence. Coming to the next surface, that is the pelvic surface. So this pelvic surface, it actually lies in between the pectineal line and the inferior border. So this is the pectineal surface. This is the pectineal surface of the superior ramus of the pubis. So this lies in between the pectineal line and the inferior border of the pubis. Coming to the next surface, that is the obturator surface. This portion, what you are seeing here, this portion is the obturator surface. This lies in between the obturator crest. So this is the obturator crest and the inferior border. This is the obturator surface of the superior ramus of the pubis. Then coming to the inferior ramus of the pubis. So this is the inferior ramus of the pubis. It runs backwards from the body of the pubis. And this inferior ramus of the pubis unites with the ramus of the ischium. So this inferior ramus, it has 2 surfaces and 2 borders totally. Coming to the anterior surface of the inferior ramus of the pubis. So this is continuous with the anterior surface of the body of the pubis. So this is the anterior surface of the body of the pubis and this is the anterior surface of the inferior ramus of the pubis. So the anterior surfaces of both body and inferior ramus of the pubis are continuous with each other. This anterior surface of the inferior ramus of the pubis is actually directed downwards, forwards and laterally. Then coming to the posterior surface. So this is the posterior surface of the inferior ramus of the pubis. It is continuous with the posterior surface of the body of the pubis above, and it is also continuous with the posterior surface of the ramus of the ischium below. This inferior ramus of the pubis, it is actually divided into three areas by two blend regions. So one is the medial area, then next one is the intermediate area, and the next is the lateral area. Then coming to the borders of the inferior ramus of the pubis, so this is the medial border. So this is more prominent in males than in females, and the lateral border which forms the medial boundary of the obturator foramen, and this also gives attachment to the obturator membrane.